Imekuwa mrefu. Unaona sasa hivi nini yako? Sasa hii imekuwa refu, inapita hii ya wiki. Ilipita katikati. Natafuta fei huku nyuma simu. Ha?
Hi everyone. I'm hoping everyone is able to hear me. I'm that we are about 10, and I'd like to just get a consensus from all of us here that this number is good enough for us to start the first meeting for GKIT Green Champions meeting, Zoom meeting. So without any further delay, I think we can start by a round of introduction so that we get to know who is in the room. So I'd request each one of us to say their names and the county in which they come from or they represent, and what inspires them to be green champions, like what green initiatives are they doing at the moment. So the floor is open for a round of introductions.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi. Happy 2021. I'm Jeff Kawaya, Green Champion of Bungoma County. Are you getting me?
Yes, we're able to get you.
You're able to get me? Yeah, I'm Jeff Kawaya from Bungoma County. I think that will be enough for now. I'll share more as we go. I believe so.
Okay, thank you. Maybe someone else would like to go next. Maybe Charles.
I'm Charles Lukanya. I am administrator at the Green Initiative Trust, and we are championing various initiatives in various counties. Right now, I am in Nairobi and I'm in Vihiga County. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charles, for that introduction. Though it was a bit shaky. Maybe someone else, maybe Lois or Beatrice, someone else can take the floor. The floor is open for introduction.
Hello.
Yes, hello, we can hear you.
Yes. I'm good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm Beatrice Okello. Yeah, I'm Beatrice Okello from Kisumu County, in the Department of Environment, Climate Change, Water and Natural Resources. I am the Climate Change Officer. I'm in charge of climate adaptation and mitigation. So thanks a lot. I know we'll discuss more.
Yes, thank you very much, Beatrice. It's nice to know that we have a representative from the county, which means that GKIT is not limited to, let me call them the non-state actors. It's nice to know that you're here and you're with us. And yeah, it's nice to get a feel of the grassroots. Maybe someone else can take the floor. Maybe Lois. Yes.
Hello, Jones Kasioki, Makueni County. Please register my apology. I'm in another meeting.
Apologies received. Thank you, Joyce, for taking time at least to show up and send your apologies in person. We really appreciate that, each champion, and we are glad that Makueni County will be represented. We'll share more as we proceed. Someone else? Yes. Malaya, we can't quite get you properly. So I'll give you a chance to maybe unmute, then mute yourself, unmute yourself, so that we get you clearly. We're having a bit of noises with the background noises. So yeah, so if you could unmute yourself, the floor is yours. You could proceed. If he's not ready, anyone else, the floor is open. Kindly introduce yourself, your county. Yes. Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Yes. Hello. We can hear you. We've lost you there again.
Hello?
Yes, hello?
This is Damaris.
Yes, hello. Kindly introduce yourself.
I'm Damaris from
Yes,
Siaya.
Damaris.
I'm representative from Siaya. Yeah. And currently I'm in Nairobi, working on a project with the young farmers called Green Oasis.
Okay.
We are rehabilitating rivers, especially Madari River, but I'm representing Siaya County.
Nice to know that Siaya is in the house. Somebody else who might like to take the floor for another round of introduction, maybe Mr. Julius. I've seen you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
To you too.
My name is Julius Kehoro. A member of the Rotary Club of Nairobi Thika Road and a green champion.
Thank you, Julius, for that brief and wonderful introduction. Anyone else who's kindly has not introduced themselves, please feel free to take the floor. Boniface, I see someone called Boniface. Yes, and after Boniface, just feel free to introduce yourself.
The next one. 11.
If Boniface is not ready, we can have another person introduce themselves. Kindly feel free to. Yes, Boniface. Yes, we can see you now. Introduce yourself, your county, and what inspires you to be a green champion.
Climate change.
Yes. Is there anyone who I might have missed or has not gotten a chance to introduce themselves? Yes, take the floor.
Hello.
Yes.
Go.
I will start with
Miriam,
we'll start
Nyandarua.
with you. Okay, Nyandarua County. Nice to meet
Yes.
you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too.
Miriam, from Nyandarua County, Deputy Director Environment. I want to see how far we've gone with the Green Champions elsewhere, because we have got a passionate group coming up. Thank you very much.
Yes, kindly proceed. Thank you, Miriam. Yes, kindly proceed.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too.
Good afternoon.
I'm Mary. I'm here on
Hey,
behalf
Mary.
of Malaika. She's a young environmentalist ambassador from Kisumu County.
Okay. Welcome to the GKT Green Champions meeting. Yes, we hope to have a fruitful discussion. Anyone else? I'll give the next 5 minutes to the last round of introduction. I've seen Ruth. Yes, I've seen Ruth. Ruth, kindly introduce yourself, your county, and what inspires you to be a green champion. If Ruth is not ready, someone else can take the floor and introduce themselves. I can see a lot of more people are joining in, which is very inspiring. Welcome all, welcome everyone. Welcome, this is the GKT Green Champions first national Zoom. So, and can you introduce yourself, your county, and basically what inspires you to be a green champion. Anyone who's not had a chance to introduce themselves, Rosemary, and I'd like to put that we are live on YouTube. I'll be sharing the link shortly in the chat. So feel free to share, feel free to invite other young green champions to join in the conversation, and let's keep greening the country. So I've sent our live link on the chat group. So please be aware that we're on YouTube live. Is there anyone who might have not introduced themselves? Kindly check the floor. Anyone who has not introduced themselves, maybe Mr. Shakespeare Ariwe, if you can introduce yourself, your county, and what inspires you to be a green champion. Anyone else? Shakespeare is still trying to connect properly. I think without taking this meeting, without dragging this any further, I think we can skip on to the main agenda of this meeting in the interest of time. So our national coordinator, unfortunately, is still held up in another meeting and will be joining us later. So, but he's passed his greetings and he has requested that we continue on with the proceedings. Then he'll join us as we go along. So with that, I would like to hand over to Mr. Charles Lukanya, if he's still in the meeting with us. If Charles is not there, Charles Lukanya. Okay, so I will take the bull by the horns. So I will introduce myself. My name is Dolphin Magero. I'm a green champion from Homa Bay County. So what inspires me to be a green champion is the drive to create change, positive change in the environment and also in the entire society. So I'll be your host today, and I'm hoping that we're going to have fruitful discussions. Yes, so I don't know if Shakespeare is ready to start us off, but as we start off, I'd like to ask us just one simple question. What do we expect what is your plan for green champions going into 2021? This is having in mind that we are coming from the COVID-19 era where a lot of things have been stalled because of the pandemic, a lot of transport, a lot of activities. So to you as an individual, what is it that you hope to achieve at the end of this year, at the end of 2021, that will drive towards the Green Champions agenda? Maybe I could ask Shakespeare to introduce himself as we think about what basically inspires us. What would we want to achieve going into 2021? Yes, so I'll hand over the floor. Mr. Riri, are you able to introduce yourself? He's not. So, as he gets settled, maybe I could throw the question over to the floor. Maybe someone could tell us, maybe Mr. Julius from Rotary Kenya, what do you hope to achieve in 2021 in line with the Green Champions agenda? Mr. Julius?
Number one, as you were saying that COVID stole so many things, but did you stop eating?
No, we didn't stop eating.
Did you stop breathing? Or did you stop moving? So what stalled is the economic part of it, but our lives still continue. And this is where we should start from the basics. From cleaning our rivers, increasing our forest cover, using renewable energy, and definitely managing our waste, because these are the issues that have become now the 21st century, what I would call issues that need to be addressed like yesterday. So in all our small ways, however, wherever you are, in whichever county you are, in whichever town or village you are in, you have a responsibility of making sure that our environment is clean for us. From the Rotary desk, this last year, Rotary has 7 focus areas. And we had 6 before, but last year we made a environment 7 focus area. So if we can be able now to harness into the Rotary way of doing things, there is a Rotary club somewhere near you, in whatever county, in whatever town, in whatever village. There's a Rotary club that is either donating books, it is either equipping a hospital, or doing something that is making life better for others. But if we can be able to work on the environment, the rest will just be details. So it is very, very prudent for everyone to make sure that they take care of the environment from their homes, from their houses, from their plots, from their offices, from wherever they are. So that is my take for now.
Thank you, Julius. That's very interesting, because you're saying that environment is very critical. From what I'm getting, you're saying it's like the foundation, and the COVID only stopped the economic aspect, basically, of our lives. So I'd like to hear another opinion, maybe from Lois. I can see Lois there, bright. Maybe we could take a couple of opinions around the floor. So Lois, then maybe Beatrice. We could have a bit of interactive discussions. Yes, Lois?
Can I be heard?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Kindly go ahead.
You know, I think I joined late, so I don't know, but my interest is food security. And when you're doing food security, you have minimum tillage, and in so doing, you stock the soil with carbon, while you produce organic food, and then people will be secure from the food, and labor intensity is reduced. So, but at the moment, I'm not active in the sense that I'm kind of sickish a bit, but I can, it's a training aspect. People need to be aware, to be sensitized, to be able to restore their soils without putting fertilizers, you know? if you do organic production, then there is a minimal use of inorganic fertilizers. And then I was also thinking of we have a lot of carbon in the carbon stock in our forest. Do we know them? Do you know the amount of carbon we have in the forest for those people who have forests in their countries? That's it. But most importantly is the
thank you very much, Lois.
And also the organic the waste plastic. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Just continue. Yes, we can hear you.
We could also sensitize our communities on waste management, so that they sort out the inorganics, the organics from the others. And then with the organics, they can make boma manure, compost, which they can plow back to the soil, which will actually increase more of carbon and also raise the food production.
Thank you, Lois. That's very interesting discussion, because from what I can get you, yes, thank you. It's very insightful, because from what I can deduce is that you're saying how we can link our green initiatives to national agendas such as food security, which is one of the big four. It's a very tactful and very brilliant, avenue that we definitely need to look at and need to basically unpack and inwardly as green champions going into 2021. Maybe I could get some more voices, maybe from Beatrice and Dama. But before that, I'd like to give the floor to Madam Veronica Ogoti. I see she's just joined. So if you could kindly introduce yourself, what you do, and which county, your situation, and what inspires you to be a green champion. It would really be, yes, it would really be nice. Yes, Madam Veronica. Madam Veronica, are you able to get us? I think she might be having audio issues. As she's looking to sort them out, we can give the floor to Beatrice. Maybe her opinions and basically what she's aspiring to do as a green champion into 2021. Beatrice, kindly, the floor is yours.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Once again, I'm Beatrice Okello from County Government of Kisumu. In Kisumu, we're having a climate change directorate. And this climate change directorate has got staff and a director, and it is under the Department of Water, Environment, and Climate Change, plus Natural Resources. So when it comes to green champions, we have a biotechnology center where we have in every sub-county, like in Kisumu, we have 7 sub-counties. And every sub-county, we have at least 10 to 15 members of green champions, green champions. They have a CBO. It's called a Green Network CBO. So each and every sub-county has a Green Network CBO with a membership of between 10 and 15. And these green champions in the CBO, each and every green champion has got a tree nursery and is also doing capacity building to the community, the schools, and the women groups, PWDs. So together with Shakespeare, we decided that we bring them together so that we can be doing our meetings and capacity building to them, because they are the TOTs in the community. It's so easy to work with them because they live within the community where they disseminate the knowledge. I want to speak on something to do with the people believe that green champions, the only thing they can do is just tree planting. But, you know, climate change has I want to talk about sustainable energy, where people are forgetting about sustainable energy. As much as we are doing tree seedling production, and you know, land size has also become small. People are
The direction, yes.
Hello, are
yes,
you
yes, good. Yes, getting you. We lost you a bit there, but you can continue with your conversation. Yes, just continue. We're really getting. We're at the point where you have, yes. Just continue.
I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying that people are forgetting about sustainable energy. I'm talking about sustainable energy because people have been doing a lot of agroforestry, that is planting trees on cropland. And because we have a small land size, that is the reason we are encouraging agroforestry. And then you find that after planting this, especially the certain trees for fuel wood, what next? We do sustainable energy, that is wood saving stoves to save the trees so that people don't cut them so much, so that people can use a small number of trees for cooking, so that they don't cut so much trees. So I think we should build so much on sustainable energy as adaptation towards the climate change. We capacity build the community on the same. We've been doing a lot of tree planting. We've been doing a lot of mitigation issues. So I think we should now focus so much on sustainable energy. I think that one can be one of the training needs for us as green champions. And then we also talk about the sustainable land management systems. Like, for example, things to do with the soil and water conservation, things to do with the production, on-farm production, covering the soil so that we don't emit a lot of carbon. We reduce the emission of carbon. I think we should also focus on that. And then we should focus on tree nursery as IGA, as income generation. You know, when we attach monitoring into our activities, sometimes the community, if you do that, the community pick up very fast. So if you focus on that one, then we'll be good to go. So I want to talk about the green network CBOs in the sub-counties. We established a biotechnology center where we are doing capacity building to the community, but our champions are there to do the training. We've capacity built them, but not so much. I know together with you guys, I know we are going to do enough capacity building on the same. So in Kisumu County, we want to replicate the same in all the remaining 6 sub-counties. We want to have each and every sub-county with a biotechnology center where we'll be training all the adaptation and mitigation technologies that we have to the communities. So we'll also be attaching the monetary value so that we can have as many youths, as many women, and as many PWDs, and even the children in schools adapting to this. You know, children influences parents so much when it comes to adaptation. They influence parents. So sometimes we go to schools, especially primary schools, they influence the parents so much. So we involve them in the activities to do with mitigation and adaptation. So I know sooner or later we'll be doing a lot of training sessions and training plans concerning the same. So I welcome all of you to Kisumu so that you come and we do this together. Otherwise, I'll still add more and more as we continue with our discussions. Thank you so much.
Hello. Hello. Can I speak now? Hello. Hello. Hello.
The microphone is muted. Hi, Sheikh, we can hear you.
Yeah. Actually, I'm the wheel somewhere in the and network is an issue. So you will bear with me. So can I carry on?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, do that.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. Sorry, I also have an issue, but I actually agree, and I like the way you brought the aspect of intergenerational and intergenerational equity. When you talked about the different cohorts of people, like the youth, the women, and also the young people. So it's really inspiring what Kisumu has been able to do. And
Hello. Okay.
Can I carry on? Hello.
What are some of the maybe 2-3 factors that has basically brought you to where you are, that has led you to having such a successful cohort of green champions? Beatrice, before I let you off the hook, the floor is yours. Just one more time, so that maybe other countries are looking to get what you're doing in Kisumu. So what are your success stories? So what are those key secrets
Dolphin.
that Kisumu, before I let go?
Dolphin.
Yes, Julius.
Can you give Shakespeare space, because he has network issues right now? I think he's getting the network. Give him time.
Oh.
Hello. I'm Shakespeare speaking. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Shakespeare.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yes, Shakespeare.
Fine. Thank you very much, champions. And thank you for taking your time to come for this wonderful meeting. Currently I'm in Lake Victoria region, Bungoma County, and hosted by Kibabi University. And around me, I have a number of green champions from this particular county who are ready to take the task to where it will be. And as per the agenda that you saw, we were given a small task to come up with like the work plan for the green champions that's going to be replicated in all the 1,450 wards. And I want to report this categorically that Kibabi University have accepted, and they have given us that platform to model that which is going to happen to our green champions in all the 1,450 wards. And I know that in the virtual meeting like the one we are having now, we might not have enough time because like me, wherever I am right now, network is a big issue. And this is what these green champions are going through every single day. And this one must be corrected. And I want to be grateful right now for our national government to have made it possible for us to access Green Climate Fund. As we are talking right now, the Green Climate Fund, the Green Climate Fund with us. And as we are talking right now, I'm sure that my national coordinator, Green Initiative National Coordinator, will testify this, that we have money to do climate action, long as they will stand the threshold that whatever is being done, if it is not innovative, if it is not transformative, and if it is not bankable, they know that Floka is going to leave us. And I know that we have a small challenge because we have been to the county the other day. The National Treasury did assessment for all the 47 counties to see if they can access climate fund. it was very sad that some counties that we think would have made the threshold scored 0 in terms of evidence of green champions at the county level. And this one we can only reverse. Hello. This one we can only reverse by
Yes,
just doing.
Go ahead.
Yeah. This one we can only reverse just by doing, by making sure that we stick to the law. We know that all the counties are going a big challenge in terms of putting their laws together. And that's why we need the green champions. Thank you, Kisumu County, for putting that wonderful team together. I've seen you online, and keep that spirit, because it's going to be a benchmark for us in the region. And I want to say that as we are speaking now, we need a lot of professionalism to be there at this process. Green Climate Fund is a global fund. It needs standards to be set. And that's why at this particular moment, we are requesting, especially the green champions who are today in this particular meeting, to roll up your sleeves so that we go and prepare our green champions. We have been given a small benchmark of 200 green champions per ward. That's a number that we can manage, so that we build them. We build their capacities. The green champions I'm talking of right now, I will say this with a lot of confidence. And Kisumu County, because you are already on with it, you will bear with me this truth that the green champions on the list have degrees, they have masters, they have diplomas, they have certificates, and some of them have been brought down to become mere border riders. We must reverse that. And this is the moment. So, as part of my contribution here, we are working with the university very closely. In the next 1 week, before the end of next week, we are going to roll up the entire work, which is going to happen with our green champions that we are mobilizing right now. And we expect a lot of solidarity, because we are being told that for us to access this climate finance, the counties must show the evidence of co-financing, which is a slippery thing. You know, we are even in a political era, a political dispensation, but we must meet this our climate change agenda. So, in conclusion, I want to say that all our 47 counties, kindly, if you are in this platform now, I know there are issues. Corona is with us. People are crying. There's no money. There are no resources. But bear with us. We are at the middle of this darkness. The dawn is here. FLOCA, financing locally led climate actions have come. We must prepare ourselves to receive this money at household level. And allow me to pass my greetings from the VC who could not join, VC Kibabi who could not join this meeting, including the Dean of Students who could not join this meeting because of other obligations. But allow me to present their apology. So let's carry on with the meeting, but just know that there's a lot of planning in terms of training of 200 green champions. If you multiply 200 times 1,450 green champions, you can imagine the number that this small team speaking today is supposed to achieve. And our first assessment we are doing by June 2021. So we are between today and June 21 to bring results that can be funded by World Bank project financing locally led climate action. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Any questions?
Yes, we have, yes, Mr. Ari, we have a lot of we have a lot of questions. You talked a lot about green champions and training and capacity building, and you've actually highlighted that currently you're being hosted at Kibabi universities. Just one thing that I would like to put across in light of all that you've said, what is the role, what is the relationship between green champions and the universities? What form of bridges do we need to build and enhance? Yes.
Thank you, Dolphin. Now, one thing is this. Green Climate Fund story started way back in 1972. A lot of regulation and standards have been set. And one standard which have been set is that we must have, and must is underlined and bold, academia with us. We have a number of academia institutions with us. We have United States International University Africa, led by Professor Muniaf. We have Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology, led by Professor Mok. We have Lake Basin College, led by Professor Kameruka, and many other tertiary institutions that we are working with right now at the county level. That one is a requirement that whatever climate actions we are going to generate at the world level must have a baseline study, must have some kind of a research study, report which has been done. Without that, I tell you, even if you have a wonderful English and a wonderful proposal which has been written, without a baseline study of whatever you are proposing to be funded, that one will be dead on arrival. And my national coordinator, who is also the head of the technical team of World Bank FLOCA, will attest to this. FLOCA is not going to do capacity building. FLOCA is going to fund water plants or integrated irrigation farming system. And all these things need study. So it is a requirement of Green Climate Fund that we must have a tangible baseline study done by a lawful institution of higher learning. Did I answer that?
Thank you. Yes, you did. Maybe if anyone else has a question for you, kindly take the floor. Anyone with a question to Mr. Arui? Anyone with a question for Mr. Arui? Yes, kindly check the floor.
You say that there should be locally led initiative. This training, whom do you want to charge? Whom do you want to charge with this training of the board? The climate change champions at world level. If the climate, the FLOCA will only finance the big things.
Arivi, that question was addressed to you.
Amanda, Mayuko.
I don't think I think he's also on track back to Nairobi because he's currently at Kibabi. But I'm sure that question is he will, when he secures a good network, he'll be able to secure us. He'll be able to answer that. I'd like to give the floor to the youngest of all in this group. So she's a 15-year-old and she is Rahima Paulette from Kisumu County. And it's very impressive because she reminds us of the great Greta, the girl who began the issue of climate strike. So Rahima, I'd give the floor to you because you're the baby green champion. Kindly introduce yourself, what you do, and tell us what inspires you to be a green champion. Rahima, kindly take the floor. You can unmute yourself and then, yes, you can just, yes.
Okay, my name is Rahmina, wildlife conservatist, and a climate change champion. And I do eco-friendly projects like I collect plastics and recycle them. Then another thing is I run a project called Eco Products, where I make cards and bags and other products like hairbands from water hyacinth, different festives. Here's an organizer. The reason why I'm doing this is to save Lake Victoria and to avoid climate change, since water hyacinth chokes the aquatic life and makes the fish to die. So this is also a way of making an alternative way, like sustainable citizen economic growth. Then I also have a
Enda na walimu wapite straight mpaka hii nyumba ya mabrother, waende hii njia ya convent hivyo, wafikishe penye watu tunakaa hapo kwa mti, ndio wataona njia ya kwenda. Wamefunga.
Yes, Rahima. Rahima. It's very inspiring. We have a younger generation coming up, maybe taking action on environment and climate change. She reminds us of the great Greta, the girl who began the global strike for climate and March for Climate. It's really inspiring to see such young people. Rahima, I'm hoping you're still with us, but I think she's having a bit of network issues on her end.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Rahima, yes, go ahead.
Okay, sorry for that. I have a group called Kisumu Environmental Camps, a kitchen group that focuses on environmental conservation, wildlife conservation, and climate change awareness, where we mentor to take care of the environment and also people like Victoria to breathe and fighting climate change, since we should unite to fight climate change. We also do cleanups. And projects like collection of plastics in Lake Victoria. And we have branches in Bungoma, Seme, and Kisumu. We have 110 kids and teenagers on board.
Thank you, Rahima. I think she's still having network issues, but it's really inspiring. Yes, just continue. The floor is all yours.
Okay, I do plant trees. Actually, I don't plant, but I grow trees.
Rahima?
Yes.
Yes, just continue.
I was saying I also do plant trees, but I don't plant trees actually. I grow trees, since I make sure that the tree that I've grown is being taken care of and is growing, which is making it sustainable. Can you get me? Yeah, I'm also the environmental prefect of my school called Kisumu Senior Academy.
Yeah, she's really begun. Yes.
Yes, and it is just making everyone get awareness on climate change, because climate change is brought up with the human activities like deforestation, emission of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide in the air. So that's what really comes up with climate change. And I believe that if environmentalists and all the people in the world to just unite to fight climate change and stop talking, but start doing the action while talking about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahima. I really inspired. At 15, you're already doing amazing things, and it is proof that all of us can do something. and it's really inspiring what you've been able to do. And I like your message that you passed out loud, that we should stop talking and start acting, should start planting trees. I like your narrative. I'd really like to know, have you been able to receive any form of support from any entity, any organization out there in the good work that you're already doing? Maybe your school, an NGO, or the government. Has anyone been able to support what you and your colleagues have been doing in Kisumu towards saving Lake Victoria?
Thank you for your question. Also, we work closely with the Department of Environment here in Kisumu, the Ministry of Environment, and the Minister of Environment, together with the governor, is aware of what we're doing, since it's called Kisumu Environmental Plan. So we are reaching out to other countries in the lake region so that you may make some changes so that you save Lake Victoria. Yeah, so the Ministry of Environment is the one that you are working closely with.
Thank you very much, Rahima. It's very inspiring to see also other people come and support the great work that you're doing. Would the rest of the Green Champions, do they have anything apart from, of course, congratulating her on the work that she's doing, that they'd like maybe to tell Rahima? So the floor is open. If you'd like her to, if you like to ask her questions. Yes, Beatrice. Yes. If anyone has a question for Rahima,
I have a question.
Yes, yes, Shakespeare.
Yes. Now, first of all, Rahima, thank you very much for standing up. Climate change is not about age. Climate change is finding everybody, and thank you for bringing your voice to this platform. Now, the question I have for you, what is it that is wrong that you want to be corrected immediately? Thank you.
We can take another question, maybe two at a go. She's a very strong girl. I'm sure she can handle 2 questions at a go. Anyone else has a question for this brilliant young girl? If not, Rahima, the floor is yours.
May he please pardon his question, please? May he just pardon his question?
Okay. Thank you very much for that, Rahima. I'd like to hear the voice of Ndungu. I've seen Ndungu. I saw Ndungu join earlier. I haven't heard from you. I don't know you much apart from, maybe I might know you just the name. I'd like to hear from Ndungu, and possibly after that, I'll hand over to Professor Karanja because I recognize that he's just joined us. So Ndungu, I'll give the floor to you to say something in line of basically what you envision going into 2021 as a green champion towards the Greening Kenya agenda. And Ndungu, JW Ndungu.
I was supposed to answer a question from my friend.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. You can answer first before we move on to Ndungu. Yes. Just continue.
Because I didn't get to hear it because of network.
Okay. You can go ahead. I know there's a bit of network issues all around. Yeah, you can just answer the floor. The floor is yours.
Clear it off.
Yes, thank you. Sometimes I don't get support, like in things like gloves, wheelbarrows, and some seedlings for planting and equipment that
comment on this internet, and then I'll go.
As people do ignore what you're trying to do, they don't get the aspect of what you're doing. So our challenge is getting the equipments, tree seedlings, and also what we are combating to is what we are going as climate change awareness people is ignorance of the people. Because, for instance, there's a time that we were sensitizing some people from the slums while you're doing cleanups, then they just say that they are being paid by the government to do that. But we are trying to tell them, no, we weren't paid by the government, but you're doing what we're supposed to do. If we just join hands together, we help combat climate change and global warming at the same time. So ignorance of the people, yeah, then we lack equipment and civilians, all that.
Thank you. Shakespeare, Mr. Rui, are you satisfied?
Hello, we must give Rahima benefit of doubt because she has said it what she really wants to be done. So let's note that whatever she has said, we have people of intellectual, capacity on this platform who can decode whatever Rahima have just said and put it in terms of climate action. Because ours on this platform is to see how all those humble ideas coming from very many voices, we can harness it and turn it into that action. Because when she's talking of us getting the tools for environment conservation at her level, we will not forget to come up with environment education too. Because by the time she's talking about the tools, she needs even more training at her level. And I'm sure our green champion, Faith Ogalo, the Green Sports Ambassador from Kibabu University is listening to this, that our green schools model should play a very big role in terms of bringing education and those required tools and equipment so that we can equip our young people as Rahima as early as they are, and it becomes our second agenda in climate change transformation. Right now, I'm an adult. At times, they say these things that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So if they teach me new tricks, I can bite them. So, but I'm not a dog. But what am I saying is that let's give space to the young generation, give them required education. We want professors who are on this particular platform to help us and doctors to help us develop curriculum syllabus that can be assimilated even in Lodwar, that remote parts of Kapedo. Let's see how we can do something which is different so that Rahima can become ambassador of all those 15 years and below and speak for them. And let's give them the tools. Let's copy the Asian tigers. They just gave the young people tools. So Rahima, your point is noted, and we are working on it to the letter. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I see Lois. Maybe Lois would have something to say, or anyone who has a question or congratulations. Anyone who would like to say something to Rahima? She's such an inspiration. I'd request over a PlayStation 5 and please mute yourself. If you're not speaking, kindly mute yourself. I'd give the floor to Professor Karanja. I've recognized that he's part and parcel of our meeting. So, Prof, the floor is yours. Yes, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ruth, for the opportunity to speak to primarily much younger people than I am. It pleases my heart to hear from these young people, Rahima, and her compassion for our planet Earth, her vision of her role in mitigating against climate change, her concern for our own awareness and education on climate change, and her concern also about our own behavior. I liked what she said, I grow trees, I do not plant them. That is an educational tool to let people know the effort of reforestation and the effort of creating stability in the forest ecosystem is to ensure that every planted tree actually survives. I think this country, Rahima, is full of people who do environmental work as a photo opportunity, to be seen to be doing rather than to do for impact. When we as a nation turn our eyes to our young people like Rahima and give them the tools of doing what they passionately believe in, this work, the work of protecting our conserved ecosystems and the work of fighting climate change will be much, much easier. So I appeal to all of us, particularly people my age, to give every support they can to the young people across this nation. Because if we all said that on 3rd of March, the day that the African Union has set aside to remember Professor Wangari Maathai across this continent, if all Africans of the age of Rahima were to say that that day they would plant and grow a tree, do you know how many trees would be grown in Africa? So many of them, because there are so many Rahimas across this continent. So I am appealing to everybody not to see climate change just as a fad that people are talking about. No, it's a real threat to our survival. And the biggest threat by climate change is for us who live in poor regions of planet Earth. We are the ones we don't have the wherewithal, although we produce the least pollutants into the atmosphere, we are the greatest sufferers under that system. So my brothers and sisters, my children, let us all unite, organize ourselves, make sure that you have incorporated your group or your association into the network that we are now linked with, and to make sure that we prepare ourselves for the long haul, because the journey to mitigate climate change is a long journey, and we all need to be together and support one another. About tools, the number one tool, Rahima, is education, knowledge, that if you know, you are better than someone who doesn't know. So like my friend Shakespeare would say, we are all called to inform one another. Inform is to educate. Let us inform one another. If I know, everybody else out there knows, because I am telling everyone that I have a connection with. So that's one tool. The second tool is training. Now, education and training are very different. You can know something, but you don't know how to do it. This young lady knows, and I am positive that she has turned her knowledge and she has been trained to do something. You must be trained to do something. Get yourself trained to plant trees, to grow seedlings, to collect seeds, to germinate seeds, to do forest conservation, the art of talking to people, because it's not just a gift. It is something that you learn and train yourself in. We must convince our parents. We must convince our villagers, the people we live together with, that there is a problem, a challenge that is facing us. And if we all work together, we can overcome it. About the lake, and I want to come to Nyanza soon. We want climate action at the lake level, beginning with the removal of hyacinths and planting trees around the beaches of Lake Victoria, from the beaches of Kedu Bay and Homa Bay, all the way to Siaya and the southern parts of Nyula. We would like to see this lake protected than anywhere else in the greater part of that lake in Uganda and Tanzania. Please let us work together, and I'm encouraged. I work for 2 organizations. I work for Center for Environmental Action, and our actionable activities is actually rehabilitating forests in Kenya. But I also work with World Resource Institute, a world-renowned research institute in Washington, D.C. I want to tell all of you that our organization in Washington is willing and able to support you in research data, in mapping what you're doing, in getting, particularly this young lady, if you actually grow trees, let us know where your trees are. We will map them, and you'll be recognized as having planted trees that you're looking after on the global map. So thank you very much. I don't want to say so much, but I'm with you. Let me listen in. I want us to hear more than to talk. And I'm very, very pleased to be associated with this network. Thank you, Ruth. Keep, you're doing a good job as a moderator. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Prof. My name is actually Dolphin, but thank you. I still take the compliment. Yes, but okay. I still thank you for the compliment. Maybe, like you said, I've liked the way we balanced from the youngest generation, I think, to the more wiser generation. It shows that climate change is not requires intergenerational balance, intra and intergenerational balance, which is actually very nice. There's a point you talked about tools. You talked about the tools that we require to basically enhance our climate action and climate to help us meet our climate ambitions. It reminds me because the UNFCCC has a sub-component. It's called Action for Climate Empowerment. It's called ACE. So Action for Climate Empowerment makes provisions for communities, young people, and every other non-state actors to be involved in climate action, and those involvements has 6 key elements. And education, capacity building, all that you mentioned are part and parcel of that of the S is basically in line with the Doha Work Program that was developed way back then. So I think what you're saying is that we need to find a way how to basically enhance, in my words, I'd say S, in your words, you'd say education and training and capacity building, so that we see a more better enhanced localized climate action for individuals like Rahima and Pauletta. And so with that, I think I won't speak much because I'm a moderator. I don't want to overtake the session. Yes. I've seen Millicent has joined us, and she looks quite young, and I have a good feeling about young people today. I'm not being agenda, but I'm not being age.
I have something for Professor.
Yes, Shakespeare.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Karanja, for coming on board, and thank you for highlighting the 3rd March event, because as Green Champions on this platform, that is an idea that we must turn into a climate action, and it must be done, and Prof underline this word, must be done in 1,450 words. I'm happy to see Teacher Veronica on board from Turkana. We want to see us doing something in Kapedo. If we go bring the presence and the remembrance of our Honorable Professor Wangari Maathai, the Nobel Peace winner in Kapedo, I think that one will be the ultimate goal that we can do for this nation. So, Professor, I'm just commenting on what you have just mentioned, that day is important for us.
Yes.
And we agree on this platform that starting now, we have an event, a national event on 3rd of March that we must catalyze as Green Champions in Kenya to be the model for Africa, and if possible, the model for the global world. After all, Professor, we are hosting the Global Environmental Body, UNEP, in Kenya. We should be the best example.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Let's make this happen, Prof. We have a number of Prof on the platform. I know they are listening in silence. And we have green champions as young as 15 years old, like Rahima, and another one has just joined on board. Soon she's going to talk to us. Let's make this happen, Prof. That's just my humble request to you.
Yes, Shakespeare, there is, hello?
Hello,
there is a plan. There is a plan organized for that day, and it's organized by the AU. There will be a team of AU key officials coming into Nairobi on 3rd, and together with the Wangari Maathai Institute and the Greenbelt Movement and the Wangari Maathai Foundation, they will hold a series of activities around the 2 days, 3rd and 4th. Now, what I will do is to try to see which activity can incorporate anyone who can be able to be here to be enjoined, or whether there is a way each organization, wherever they are, can at a particular time, which may be a better option, that let's say that at 11 o'clock on 3rd, everybody in wherever you are, you plant a tree, you commemorate the work of Wangari Maathai, and you take a video and you upload it to some network.
I agree, Professor, and that one is a climate action.
That's a climate action, and then we can, But I'm going also to give a challenge to the African Union. We cannot do this only by showcasing things rather than planning things. They have come very late in the day to come and say, well, we want to come to Nairobi. But what have they been doing between now, from 3rd March last year to 3rd March this year? What has been their work? You know what I mean? So that we need to move away from photo opportunities and creating buzzes, but creating real work on climate action at the grassroots.
I agree with you, Prof. Dolphin, let's just need a bit, but Prof, I'm saying this, and let it be recorded on this platform now as we meet, that we are having 1,450 wards in Kenya. If we multiply that by the anticipated 200 green champions per ward, we are talking of 225,000 green champions nationally. And if each one of them can just plant 10 trees on 3rd of March, we will have done 2-point-something million tree seedlings. And if you can do it simultaneously at 11 o'clock, the way you are saying, that one will be a landmark, Professor.
I will ask the WMI and ask the Greenbelt Movement to buy into this idea. And from Kedubi and Kisumu and Taita Taveta and wherever else.
We can't hear you. I think it's a bit of net issues.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just listen now, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful discussion. Before I go to Michelle, because I'm really having a good feeling about Michelle. I don't know why. Really good feeling about her. I'd like to hear someone who has not been able to speak, apart from Michelle. Michelle, you're next. Just before Michelle speaks, I'll have to give the floor to someone who has not been able to speak since the beginning of this meeting to basically join and feel part of this discussion. I've seen JW Ndungu, I've also seen Boniface and a couple of other people, and Kate also. I'd like to give you this chance to whoever is ready to say something. Then after that person, I can hand over to Michelle. I have a very good feeling about Michelle. Very good feeling. So maybe Ndungu or anyone who has not had a chance.
Hello, everyone.
To speak. Yes. Hello.
My name is Wamboi Dongo. such a wonderful opportunity to get to listen to everyone who's talking, and especially Rahmina Paulette. Congratulations, well done, girl.
Thank you.
Now, and I'm hoping, because I'm on the move, I'm hoping my network will not die on me. So I work with an organization called the Montreal Africa. You can hear me?
Yes.
Carry on, carry on.
Yeah, I've stamped that one, but you should stamp 2 of them.
You can carry on. Dungu? I think she's network issues because she's on transit. It's really understandable. Dungu? The floor is yours. She's having a bit of network issues, but even from the sound of her voice, you can feel the energy that she has towards the Greening Kenya agenda. I don't know if she's able to speak. Maybe we give her a couple of minutes, because I know she's just said she's on transit, and I think that one probably would affect her movement and the networks within. Maybe we should have maybe boosters along the road, maybe something that can enhance better communication. I can't say anymore. So anyone else before I hand over to Michelle? Because no network issues, very understandable. I think I'll skip over to jump right into Michelle. I have a very good feeling about you. I'm very positive. I don't know why. So Michelle, please take the floor.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Mochelwa. I'm 15 years old. I go to White Oak School. I do the IGCSE system. I'm in year 10, and I'm an ocean hero, which means I'm a representative for all aquatic systems. So I started a campaign with my brother in June 2020 after we participated in the Ocean Heroes Virtual Bootcamp with the goal of restoring Lake Victoria to its pristine condition by eradicating plastic pollution. Wait, sorry, my sister.
It's okay, we can hear you.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So the goal of our campaign is to restore Lake Victoria to its pristine condition by eradicating plastic pollution and creating a sense of heritage, love, ownership, and awe for the lake with every Kenyan citizen. That's why our campaign is called Bring Back Lake Victoria. So our objectives and the way we want to achieve these goals are through creating awareness and sensitizing people on the negative effects of plastic pollution, using research and data to understand the scope of the problem and design effective solutions, making producers accountable for their plastic, advocating for a clean and protected Lake Victoria, innovating to get plastic out of our environment and to move past plastic, using technology to make data collection and monitoring more efficient, studying indigenous knowledge to find out what the people that lived along the lake in the past are doing right and what we are doing wrong. We want to combine the best of indigenous knowledge and the best of modern technology to protect the lake and make it pristine once again. We want to empower the youth to raise their voices to protect our natural spaces and to get connected to their natural spaces, because you cannot protect what you don't know about. We want to use media outreach on both social media and mainstream media to spread our message wide, not just across Kenya, but across East Africa and Africa. Those are our objectives, and currently we are bringing in an ambitious new goal.
Hello. Can we give Wambo?
She's having a bit.
Hello.
The floor to finish. Yes, we can give her the floor to finish. Let's give Michelle the floor to finish. Michelle?
Yes. Okay, I was talking about why we decided to do plastic. We decided to do plastic because ice, and that was, but then as we learned about pollution more than ISO, what happens is that when plastic
Wote ni
gets
watapeli bank sako hakuna yote. Kwanza kwa Biblia ni hatia kuwa na deni.
in our
Ukitoka
water and in
investment
our
unaweka tu do unaweka do unanunua TV.
and not just choking the lake but affecting our health.
Hakuna
Plastics have been
Mungu
found
ni yako.
95% of all human beings have plastic in them.
Mnasikianga hiyo wimbo? Si Jamaica, ni Kenya and everywhere. Utafurahia nini? Ukipata watu wamekaa kama sisi ngori. Kuna
We had a bit of technical issues. I'd like to ask you to mute your microphone if you're not speaking, and we can give more time to Michelle because I don't think she was done. She was done in her presentation. Michelle, kindly go on.
Yeah, but still we can ask questions so that it can be recorded, and even she can answer us later on through email and even comment. What do you say?
Okay, so yes, I'll tell you about the campaign again. I think I'll talk about the goals and the objectives. So Bring Back Lake Victoria again was started by my brother and I in June 2020 with the goal of restoring Lake Victoria to its pristine condition. We want to eradicate plastic pollution and create a sense of heritage, ownership, stewardship, and love for the lake in every Kenyan citizen. So why plastic pollution? Because when plastic gets in, plastic is more than an eyesore. Plastic is destroying our ecosystems. And all the plastic that is used in Kenya will at some point eventually end up in the lake if not disposed of properly. There is no way. So we chose plastic because when plastic gets into the water, it doesn't biodegrade. Instead, it breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces called microplastics. Now, these microplastics then become present in the water and can be eaten by fish. So what is happening now is we are literally eating plastic, and it is a fact that 95% of all human beings have plastic in their system. And 83% of our world's water has been contaminated by microplastics. Microplastics have even been found in human placenta. So that's how serious it is. We are consuming plastic on a daily basis. And we chose to we started off with just wanting to create a recycling center. Our campaign has really evolved since June. We started off with just wanting to create a recycling center within our community. But then as we went on and we learned more about the problems and we met more people, we began to realize that the problem is more than just about the lack of effective waste management. You have the fact that people are also not aware. So people don't know there's a problem. People don't know what is happening to their natural spaces because most of us are sort of in this bubble. We are living in a bubble and nature is outside that bubble. So we are not paying attention. So our objectives right now are to create a sense of awareness and sensitize people on the negative effects of plastic pollution, to make producers accountable for their plastic waste, to advocate for a clean and protected Lake Victoria, to use technology to make data collection and monitoring more efficient, to do research and collect data on plastic pollution and what is happening to the lake so that we understand the scope of the problem and are able to design effective solutions. We want to innovate to solve plastic pollution, remove it from our environment and move past plastic. We want to empower the youth to raise their voices to protect their natural spaces and to get connected to their natural spaces and the amazing biodiversity that exists in Kenya. We want to study indigenous knowledge to find out what the people in the past did right to protect the lake and what we are doing wrong. We want to bring together indigenous knowledge and modern technology to sustainably manage the lake. We want to use media outreach on both mainstream media and social media to expand our reach, not just through Kenya, but to East Africa, Africa, and the world as a whole. And those are our objectives. And I am so excited to be at this meeting and to see that there's a growing green movement in Kenya wanting to develop sustainably and protect our natural spaces. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michelle. It's true, you didn't disappoint me. I had a good feeling, and it's really inspiring at 15 what you're able to do. You know, you're the next, you and Rahima, you're the next Wangari Maathais and the early, the famous Greta, you know, the girl who started the issue of climate strikes. So I think I will not keep you to myself. Shakespeare was very excited about you, and he had a lot of questions, so I'll just hand over to him, and of course the rest of the Green Champions on board to basically indulge you more and get to know you more. So Shakespeare, the floor is all yours. Shakespeare?
Yes. Can I contribute to the wonderful initiative for the Lake Victoria Basin, especially on plastic? The value that I want to add there is that, just on that is that the plastics that we are going to do, that we are not doing cleaning anymore for the Lake Victoria. We want to harvest all plastics. Harvesting means that we must embrace the principle of investments. And Professor Karanja, you will agree with me that whenever environment issues are handled sustainably and in terms of investment, or it becomes a solution instead of a problem. So the first thing that we need to do for the plastic issue, and remember we have a plastic ban in Kenya, the only country, I think, among the few in the world that have said zero to plastic use. So though we are still seeing some still slipping in. So let's go and harvest that. Then two, let's do advocacy. Let's do advocacy to stop plastic production, whether it is what kind of plastic. Let's just stop it so that we can call. Rwanda did it. Why can't we just copy Rwanda? Two, we have a law. And do you know that right now, the American government, through their scientific council, they want to export plastics to Africa through a trade deal, and they are currently trying to hook Kenya to see how we can end up getting into a trade deal with them on plastics. And they want to use Kenya as an entry point to Africa. Professor, we must stop this early and say no, so that the wonderful initiative that we have just been presented to us for the Lake Victoria intervention can be stopped before it happens. That trade is bad for us. We don't need plastics in Africa. We don't need plastics in Kenya. Coca-Cola is always doing a wonderful job with the bottles until they brought in the plastics. It is a menace everywhere. We don't want plastics. So carry on the team of Green Champions around Lake Victoria. We are pushing on, and we need to bring in that voice of advocacy to stop all the wrongs before they happen. So congratulations for that wonderful job you are already doing around Lake Victoria. And as Green Champions, we are coming to support. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for those comments,
Shakespeare.
Yeah, thank you for your comments. That is so true. And actually in Kenya, we have the strictest ban on plastic bags. So I believe that we need to advocate more and create more awareness so that we create stricter bans on plastic. We need to get rid of PET because it's a huge problem. At our December 12th, 2020 super cleanup, we collected 257 kgs of trash. 70% or 180 kgs of that was PET plastic bottles. We collected all that from the lake, and 70% of that was PET plastic bottles. So you can definitely see where the problem is. So to get rid of plastic and to actually create a sustainable economy, we need to bring in all sectors. And that's why what we're doing as Bring Back Lake Victoria is creating a network and a platform for anyone interested in the lake to come and communicate and start a conversation and think of solutions. Because you can only solve this problem and create a sustainable city when all parts, when every stakeholder is involved and every stakeholder is interested and they're listening and they're ready to work together. And that's what we're working towards. And on the part of empowering the youth, we're actually planning to have a satellite youth ocean conservation summit for East Africa in July. And let me give you a bit of a background on the Youth Ocean Conservation Summit. It's an event that's usually held in person in the US in Florida at a marine laboratory. But last year, because of COVID, it went virtual. So my brother and I got to attend. And what the Youth Ocean Conservation Summit does is it brings youth into the fight for sustainability and the fight to protect our ocean and water systems by giving them, first of all, telling them about the issues affecting the ocean, and then giving them the skills through workshops to start their own campaigns, and then giving them constant mentorship as they go through their campaigns through the Youth Leadership Council Network. So we decided that we want to bring this to East Africa because a huge problem I have noticed is it seems Kisumu youth and Kenyan youth as a whole are not really connected to their natural spaces. And I noticed this when my friend Chelsea from the Kisumu Bike Club came to tell me about hot springs in Kisumu. Because as Kisumu Bike Club, they promote green transport and they promote local tourism by visiting these different places every Saturday. So she came and she told me, did you know there are actually hot springs in Kisumu? And I did not know that. I had never heard about that. And as she was talking to me, I began researching and I began learning about the amazing biodiversity around us that we don't even know about. And this is dangerous because when you have youth not knowing about their natural spaces and not knowing what species exist, you have species quietly disappearing and no one is noticing because no one knows about them. You only realize that you've lost something when you ask your mom about the types of fish she ate and she tells you about types you have never heard of before, or she tells you about a bird she's seen or that you have never heard of, or she tells you that there actually used to be crabs on Lake Victoria's beaches. Who has seen a crab on Lake Victoria's beaches in a while? I mean, they are gone. So the goal of this summit that we want to do is to educate, inspire, and empower youth to get connected to their natural spaces and their lake and their ocean, and then empower them to fight for their campaign and to fight for their well-being. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Truly, 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 you're an inspiration to everyone. Myself, personally, I'm inspired. And I'm hoping that we can learn more from each other. And of course, in the course of continuous engagement, I'd like to open the floor to anyone who might have anything to say in light of maybe the discussions that has been going on. I can see Dama Opilu has joined. I've not heard his voice the whole meeting, and I'm curious to know, of course, what is his passion, what is his drive going into 2021 concerning the Greening Kenya agenda, for his personal Greening Kenya agenda. So, Dama Opilu, if you're in a position to kindly please take the floor as we try to wrap up the session, because my watch tells me it's a few minutes to 4. And we only had until 4 p.m. So Dama has left us. Would anyone, yes, Rahima has something. I can see your hand is up. Rahima, yes, the floor is yours.
I testified that young people are coming together. Like Michelle was also in my session, the last cleanup. And I went also to hers, and she can testify that. So that shows how serious many young people want to come together and solve many different challenges and solve many different problems, and yeah, just having different solutions to each and every problem. Like for me, most of the times I work with plastics and water hyacinth, and she works with plastic. So we should just come up with an aspect. We need to work with each other. If we don't work with each other, then what will we what will create an impact in the world? How will we do that if we don't have each other? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rahima. Indeed, very insightful, very wonderful insights that you made. Would anyone would like to take the floor, maybe make some concluding remarks, because we're about to wrap up? I've seen Miss Jedida has been able to join us. So maybe if she has something that she would like to share with us concerning the discussions that we've had, and in case, because you've just joined us, this session is live streamed on YouTube, so you'll be able to follow up even after this. So Ms. Jedida, would you have anything that you'd like to add in light of the discussions that we've been having since 2 p.m. Yes, Ms. Jedida, the floor is yours. Are you able to hear us? Or if anyone else would like to take the floor, kindly, we are in the wrapping up session, just a bit of concluding remarks in light of the discussion. What has inspired you? Who has inspired you? And what do you think, in your opinion, is the way forward, moving forward into 2021? The floor is open.
Hello?
Yes. Please take the floor. Yes. I can see this. I can't read your name. It's written HP. I think. Oh, it's Lord. Yes. I'm sorry. I can't. So sorry. Yes. Kindly unmute yourself, and you can have the floor. Then we can go back to Ms. Jedida. I think she's back on. Yes.
Yes. This is Miriam from Nyandarua. Thank you for our bold champions, Michelle and Rahmina. And having just listened to what's been going on in Kisumu and the activists along the lake, I'm inspired because maybe some of you don't even know where Nyandarua is. It's next to Nakuru County, between Nakuru and Nyeri. And we are one of the counties that is a recognized water tower, and we have many forests. And I know as we get along, we need more of these forums. And just to cut my story short, I was expecting, and maybe we need a roadmap, because when I was joining the forum, I thought the newcomers will be able to catch up and know what is the roadmap for the Green Champions. And also the timelines, like we can hear March, June, all those things. And I've not seen the structured aspect of it. Maybe that can be done in writing, so that at least even when we are coming together, we be able to know what we are working towards, a common goal. And as Riwi can witness, we're doing fine in Nyandarua. We got quite green champions, doing many aspects from catchment conservation, and for information for some people who do not know that we have a lake called Olborosat, the only highland lake in the Kenya Highlands, and it serves even more counties in the former northeastern province. So as we get to interact more, we know each other. And also I thank for Professor Karanja, and it will be good for us to link up and also do our baselines as we get along. Thank you so much for such an inspiring forum. Let's get better. All the best.
Thank you very much for your very wonderful concept. I'd like to speak on the issue of a roadmap. Yes, ideally, if you've noticed, we have not followed the agenda that we kind of highlighted. It's because I think later, after we sent out the link, we realized this is the first meeting of the year for the GKIT Green Champions. So we felt that it's best for people to basically get to know each other, to basically break the ice. So after this meeting, the next meeting, which should be in the course of next week, we will proceed with providing a guide in form of a roadmap with a work plan and timelines for each and every month. But also we already have that, but we felt since it's the first meeting of the year, we can't just bombard you with the first thing. And we also wanted to also get a feel of where your head is at as Green Champion, so that we align what we already have with, of course, basically what you have in mind, so that we move together in uniform, so that it is more of a collaborative approach rather than us, the Secretariat, giving you a roadmap and telling you to follow this when you might have other ideas and other agendas in mind. But that your concerns have been well taken care of, and this is being live streamed and recorded, and we will have another meeting possibly next week or the week after to provide such a roadmap. And we expected our national coordinator, but he's been stuck in a very intense meeting and has not been able to, and he sends his apologies. With that, I'm hoping that is answered. I can give the floor to Jedida or anyone else for the last remarks. So the floor is open for concluding remarks. Yes, Ms. Jedida, I can see your mic is on mute. Kindly feel free to take the floor. Yes, Jedida, kindly, the floor is yours.
These are smaller people, and these are learning to lose. Ukraine is learning to lose. Learning to lose.
Sorry for that, because we for anyone to give their concluding remarks. Sorry for the network issues. Our floor is open. So, ladies and gentlemen, if there are no any final remarks or any discussions moving forward, I'd like to call this meeting to a close, and I'd like to declare that it has been a success. It has been a pleasure interacting with all of you during this meeting. We hope to have our next meeting possibly next week or the week after. We'll make the appropriate communication in light of that. With that, I would like to declare this first meeting closed. Watch out for me, and we'll reach out to you. Possibly we'll do publication or an article on basically the meeting that we've just had and the insights that you've been able to give us. And I'd like to urge you all to keep the good work that we're all doing in our respective areas and respective counties. And with that, I would say goodbye, good evening, and have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.